All right, what's going on, everybody? It's your good old boy JR coming to you live from Las Vegas, Nevada. As always, it is a pleasure to talk to you guys on this beautiful Wednesday night. We're going to do our prediction show. Before anything, though, I would like to say a couple words. As I mentioned, I am from Nevada. Today, there was a shooting at the UNLV. And unfortunately, I don't know the whole story as of yet. I know that there was something going on as far as, there was just an active shooter on campus today. So, and this was finals week. And, after this, the kids were ready to go home, spend some time with their families and everything. And unfortunately, for some, they're not going to make it home. And, my thoughts and prayers are for those guys right now. And school shootings always suck, whether it's elementary, middle school, junior high, high school, college, shootings anywhere. This time, it's just a little bit closer to home. Unfortunately for me, it's a little bit closer to home. So for all the families out there, I know eventually thoughts and prayers are not enough. Eventually that's not enough anymore. But my thoughts and prayers are with those families today. But here he is, Brandon. As always, man. Wednesday. How you doing today, my man?
I'm doing good. Same for Vegas victims.
We just had our first Super Bowl meeting. Roger Goodell was in town yesterday, and the president of the Raiders, they had their meeting yesterday. They wanted to see the build up, how everybody was getting excited for the Super Bowl. And, to hear all those comments that, Vegas is becoming a sports town, and that he couldn't imagine 10, 12, 15 years ago that he would be standing here today getting ready to present us with the Super Bowl for Super Bowl week. It was great to hear. It was great to hear that times are changing for the better. So it's just today, it just shows you that 24 hours, anything can change. So, but, we just got to keep pushing through. And, I don't know the whole details, but hopefully as more comes out, hopefully it's more good news than bad news. So, hopefully there's some more good than bad in there. But it is week 14, which means we are a lot closer to the end than we were at the beginning. Yeah, that's it. That is it. We are a lot closer to the end than we were at the beginning. And, we got some good ones today. Now, unless you're Arizona and Washington, go away. Take the time off.
I mean, technically, y'all been off.
Take the time off. Enjoy. Well, hey, look, I always say this. Mathematically, you're still in. Until mathematically you're not, I'll always believe you have a chance.
Mathematically, you're still in, but we all know the truth.
It took 13 weeks for the Panthers. 13 weeks, and the Panthers are finally eliminated. I don't know if that's just a drop off between the conferences, or if that's just a drop off within the divisions. I'm just like, golly. Yeah, but not anymore. That who knew losing 11 games doesn't give you a shot to win a division, Oh, it's crazy. It's terrible. That's terrible. But here we are, week 14. Brandon, you ready to rock and roll? All right. So we have a fun one to start us off for week 14. Man, I can't say that with a straight fucking face. Yo, Amazon's getting screwed, man. They keep getting screwed with these games.
I would sue the NFL for this bullshit that they did.
Like, this is.
I would sue this shit out the NFL. Like, y'all know damn well. This game out.
You had 12 days. You had 2 weeks to flex this out. And you said, no. You want to know when it's bad? when last week's Thursday night game between Dallas and Seattle, you want to know why it's bad? When they started doing the little like catch next week, they had a picture of TJ Watt and Bill Belichick. You understand how bad you have to be that they have to put your head coach as the guy to like, you understand how bad you got to be, right?
He's the only star of the Patriots.
Like, he is the Patriots. Like, that's it. Everybody else, hey, man.
He's the only thing that matters on the Patriots. Like, let's be real.
You understand how bad it's got to be like, hey, we're just going to put Bill up there. Like, what? Is Bill Belichick going to block TJ Watt or something? I missed that.
That shit ain't happening.
Like, he's going to show him how it's done, I guess. But yeah, that's the Thursday night matchup. It's the Patriots taking on the Steelers, man. And Brandon, who do you got and why?
Oh my God, we're about to watch the worst football game probably ever. And I saw the Bears play the Panthers this year on Thursday night, and this offensive performance is about to be worse. That's saying that. That's saying a lot. Like that's saying a lot. I watched the Panthers and the Bears not figure out how to play offense. This is about to be worse. Oh my God. I expect it to be 3-0 Steelers. Like I expect it to be 3-0 Steelers. Maybe 5. I think the Steelers get a safe. No, I think it's 3-2 Steelers. I think the Patriots get a safety. The Steelers get a last-second field goal. 3-2 Steelers.
And you know what? I believe it too. Kenny Pickett's out. Man.
Yo, Amazon should sue the shit out there.
You had 2 weeks to like look at this and be. You can't sit there at the end of like this. The people that flex these games, they can't be like, oh, well, we wouldn't have known. I mean, yes, you did. Like, you have seen the Steelers struggle offensively all year, and you have seen the Patriots all year. You could have flexed this game on like 2 weeks. Like, you could have done anything. You could have done anything else. You could have done the Jaguars and Browns. You could have done the Rams and the Ravens. Hell, you could have done the Seahawks and 49ers again. Just to be like, hey, you had the same amount of time anyway. So, or Amazon could have just been like, hey, we want a bye week this week. Can we get a bye? This is our bye week. Like, we just want to buy. A bye week. A bye week sounds better for Amazon. I'm sure Richard Sherman and all those guys are like, I want to go home. I want to go home, man. Oh, it's terrible. Yeah, I got the Steelers too, and it's not because they're. Let's just call it what it is, man. The Steelers offensively, they just not good. They just not good. I don't know where to go from here.
They're offensively challenged. I think that's if that's a word that we can use. It's offensively challenged.
Like 1 week, the first week after Matt Canada got fired, it's like, man, these guys look great. These guys look different. The following week, it's like, wow. Wow. Okay. Maybe that was just a flash in the pan real quick. Okay.
So it was like, wow. So it wasn't really Matt Canada.
Like, wow, this wasn't really as bad. Like, wow. Like, whoa, yeah, no. Yeah, I got the Steelers too. And that's really it. And I got no. Listen, if the Patriots are smart, stay at number 2 as long as you can. Stay at number 2 for the rest of the year. Get yourself an elite wide receiver in offseason and in the draft. Give Mac Jones some weapons. Give him some help. I at this point, I mean, well, I know the first thing you got to do. You got to, as you like to say, mutually agree to part ways. That's the first thing you got to do. And mutually agree. Okay, whatever. Mutually agree. That's the first thing Robert Kraft has to do. Second thing you got to do, working no more. It's not working no more. That's it. Number 3, at that point, you decide what you want to do. Do you believe Mac Jones can play football? The problem is his best weapon is a guy that literally his knee is as strong as shredded cheese. That's his best weapon. A guy whose knees is literally as strong as shredded cheese right now. Like that's his best weapon. Sign Mike Evans, get Marvin Harrison Jr., and if Mac Jones can't do it there, then guess what? You were going to suck anyway. Get your quarterback next year. Get your quarterback next year. I'm just saying. I mean, it's so like I understand. Is the fact that maybe Caleb Williams and Drake May can be at number 2 at the same time? Yes. How many receivers are going to come out like Marvin Harrison Jr. every year?
Well, depends on who's number 1. So if the Bears is still number 1, he's about to go. So
I doubt the Bears go. It would baffle me if they go Marvin Harrison Jr. It would be the right pick, but they need to fix that offensive line before anything. I'm just saying. It's just rough, man. It's rough. But give me the Steelers tomorrow. New England, try to stay at number 2 for the rest of the year and get yourself a great player. Just get yourself a great player.
I hope, with all due respect, that the Steelers do not make the playoffs. I don't want to see the Florida State Seminoles NFL version. I don't want to see that shit.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
NFL version. I don't want to see that shit. Like that is terrible. Like that is terrible football. Why are we watching this shit?
I feel you. I understand. I get it. Ah, that's so tough. That's so tough.
I get that you have to put a divisional team like the NFC South. I get that you have to put them in. We don't need to do this shit. Like, we don't have to have the Steelers. Like, do we have that? I get it.
Kenny Pickett in the playoffs. My man says, nah.
I don't even know if Kenny Pickett's going to be healthy to play in the next couple of weeks. Like it's to the point now, I'm like, I don't want to see the Florida State Steelers. I don't want to see, like, this. I don't want to
So stale. You're so stale. Like, you're so salty about this. So.
I don't want to see the Pittsburgh Seminoles. I'm sorry. I don't want to see that shit.
I mean, I get it. I get it. No, you're not the only one. It's just, wow. You could have kept it to yourself, man. You could have kept it to yourself. Next up, we have a... Speaking of the NFC South, we have a divisional matchup on Sunday. We got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Atlanta Falcons. The Buccaneers. First of all, congratulations to Mike Evans again. 10 straight years, 1,000 plus receiving yards. Congratulations to him. He's on pace with Jerry Rice, Eddie Moss. I mean, that's incredible. To me, that is truly incredible, and kudos to him for doing all he could. That 10 seasons, I mean, that's incredible. Are going to take on the Atlanta Falcons, who are actually the division leader, and they are undefeated in this division right now. They are 3-0 in conference games. And their best player statistically is the kicker. It just shows you how fucked up the NFC South is, man. I just want to explain to you how fucked up the NFC South is, bro.
I would watch this shit every Sunday. I know.
Like, at least I could be like, look, I know my team's not good, but I mean, at least, at least the Raiders are trying. The Broncos are trying. The Chiefs are good. The Chargers are there somewhat. They're alive somewhat. Then you look at the NFC South and it's like, man.
Chargers gotta get to the goddamn on, do something.
Do something.
Do something.
Yo, that game on Sunday, I'm like, what's going on? What's going on? I thought there was like literally something wrong with my TV. I'm like, oh man, I think my TV's broken. 3-0, and it's only the fourth quarter. Oh no, shit, that really is 3-0. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. But Brandon, who you got in this one? Do you have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, or do you see the Atlanta Falcons finishing 4-0 by the end of this week?
I got Tampa Bay. Atlanta sucks offensively. Tampa Bay kind of doesn't. That's not saying a lot. that's really not saying a lot. I saw Bijan Robinson run into his foreman. It was like a real play.
And it's not because Bijan Robinson is terrible. It's just everybody else is pretty bad.
They suck so bad. Like when they beat the Saints last week, 2 weeks ago, it's not like we didn't like just the offense of the Saints sucked. That was it. Nothing was wrong with the defense. We got 2 turnovers. We did everything. Atlanta just can't fucking move the ball. Like I'm watching this. Desmond Ritter still can't figure it out. Like I don't know what this team is. It really does feel like they're just the luckiest, saddest bullshit team that we can find right now. Like this is a terrible situation.
I'm not lying to you when I say the best player in Atlanta right now is their kicker.
Well, I believe you. I 100% believe you. I believe that he can kick 50-yarders and that Atlanta Falcons will probably win a game. That's how bad.
He is their Sebastian Janikowski of this era. Nothing else is going right, but man, they got a badass kicker.
That's it. It's like they suck on every level.
Like, no, not every level. Not a.
It's bad. I think Tampa.
Have you seen that Squirtle meme that's been going around lately? The one with he's playing the little flute or whatever. He's playing the little instrument or whatever. Like, that's how I feel Atlanta fans celebrating when they see the kicker just. Then it gives.
It's bad. I think that Tampa is going to win because they have to win. If they lose this game, they're still second in the division. But it's like you're not catching Atlanta. And I think you gotta have some team make it competitive in the NFC South. You can't have.
Yeah, I think so too.
Come on, NFC South. You can't have them just run away with the division. They're only going to be 7-6. That's like.
Man. Yeah, that's why I got Tampa Bay too. I think Tampa can pull this off. I know, their division record doesn't speak for it. I know their record doesn't speak for it. I truly believe Tampa Bay can catch Atlanta this week. And that's not saying a lot. I mean, it's really not. It's just because the thing is this. It's not like it'd be great if Atlanta makes it to the playoffs with everything that's happened and everything, because then they'll be like, see, I told you we were good. Yes. You're about to put so much faith in us that I see another Tennessee Titans deal going on where it's like, yeah, I don't know who you're playing next week, but you're going to get your ass whooped. Like, you're going to get worked. So give me Tampa Bay. I think Tampa Bay takes first place. And hopefully this is something that at least it'll be like, all right, we could respect that. We can respect that. Give me Tampa Bay.
Not bad is this. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Atlanta Falcons, or the New Orleans Saints be the 4th seed in the NFC South. And your reward is either the Eagles or the Cowboys. Yay!
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 Like, let's check on that one WNBA fan. Yay! Like, golly, give me the Buccaneers, man. Next up, we have the Rams taking on the Ravens. The Rams, hey, looking pretty good. Now, Matthew Stafford looks scared shitless out there, but he's throwing. The Ravens, who are in it, they're trying to get the number 1 seed, but it's a long way. It's a toss up right now. It's a toss up between a lot of teams to get the number one pick or to get the number one seed in the AFC. So, Brandon, who do you got? The somehow actually competitive Los Angeles Rams or the Baltimore Ravens?
I have Baltimore. Oh my God, they're coming off a bye. They kind of need to win. Last time we saw them, they didn't have the best offensive performance. Maybe Mark Andrews' injury really did hurt the offense. I don't know. But now that you have a bye, you can kind of figure out what you can do offensively. I got the Ravens. I think that as good as the Rams have kind of been, that's not saying a lot. The Ravens, I believe, will get the number one seed in the AFC. Miami's going to eventually fall because it's fucking Miami. The Jags they're going to lose the division. I don't believe the Jags are going to win it, especially with Tua being out for however long he's going to be out. But Trevor Lawrence will be out. However long he's going to be out. And, of course, Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City. Still look like they can't figure out offense. Like, but let the analysts tell you, Kansas City still going to get the home field advantage. Okay.
Man, you know what was funny? When Patrick Mahomes threw that interception and Chris Collinsworth, man, what a throw by Patrick Mahomes. And I'm like,
did you not hear the ending of that game? This man was like, we literally about to go down there and throw the flag his goddamn self with Travis Kelce. That was a goddamn pass interference. I was like, what are you talking about?
Like the only thing I pick, like this is how I picture Chris Collinsworth, like literally, because I know we can't see him on the booth, but this is literally how I picture him, like calling the game, like when it comes to like him and Patrick Mahomes, like it is literally disturbing, like.
He is truly the embodiment of John Madden and Brett Favre. It's like anything Patrick Mahomes does, he don't give a shit what the fuck happened. It is not Patrick Mahomes' fault. Like, it is not his fault. That shit is crazy to me. I have no idea why this is. He was about to go down the booth and be like, I know that was pass interference. Like, he pushed Travis Kelce in the back. Like Travis Kelce barely even tried to jump football. What the fuck are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Listen, you can say what you want. I'll be honest with you. After that terrible, unnecessary roughness call, at that point, the refs must have looked at Kansas City and be like, you got to make these yards on your own. I cannot give you another one.
That shit was, if that was not the most, what the fuck call was that?
Here's my thing. Like, at that point, to me, you got to think, okay, Patrick Mahomes is no longer, whenever a quarterback goes out, the quarterback is no longer a quarterback. He is now a runner. So if that's the case, how come running backs don't get the same calls like that?
And on top of that, the fact that Patrick Mahomes technically wasn't even running the fuck out of bounds. He was still running straight. And then he saw him and trying to dip out of bounds. So it was like, nah, you can't do that shit. I'm tagging you for this. Like, that's stupid.
The NFLPA is going to have to come up with something. And I don't know what it's going to take. I don't know if it's going to be full-time officials. Are we going to have to implement the college thing where it's like we're going to have to see if that really was unnecessary roughness or whatever? And, listen, I'm sure the Chiefs refs, the referees looked at the Chiefs. The refs looked at the Chiefs and go, listen, man, we gave you 15 phantom yards. We can't give you another one. The refs probably looked at them like, I can't give you another phantom call, bro. Like, I can't give you another one. I can't really give you this one. And I know what people are going to say. Oh, that's ruining the integrity of the game. Please, you got extra 15 yards on a tackle. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. Like, there was people crying on the radio saying he should be suspended and he should be fined for hitting him like that. I'm like, it looked like a regular ass tackle to me. But anyway. Justin Herbert, took a worse hit last Sunday night against the Ravens. He was out of bounds and he took a hit and there was no call. Patrick Mahomes was inbounds and he got 15 yards. If I'm telling you right now what's bullshit and what's not, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. But I got the Ravens too, only because of the fact that you're right. They have to win this one. They have to win this one. The Rams, I love what they're doing. Fine. They're competitive. Have they outplayed where I thought they were going to be drafting this year? Sure. Does that saying a lot? No, not really. Because the problem is you're going to run into the same situation next year. Oh, yeah. Give me the Ravens here. Next up, we have the Lions taking on the Bears. The Bears are in a situation where they can have the number 1 and the number 5 pick right now, which is great for them. The Lions looked, and I'm sorry to say this, man. I know it was against your team, but they look like the Lions I've been expecting them to look this whole year. The first quarter at least, I'm like, yeah, that's the Lions. I was like, yep, that's the Lions I expected to see all fucking year. And let's get this out the way. That was personal. I don't know. Like if there was like a visual of on site, it was what Bruce Irvin did to Derek Carr. If there was a visual for like on site, that's what it was. You cannot tell me otherwise, bro. That's on site, homie. Like that. I was like, wow. Like, listen, I was watching the Red Zone, and then they put it on, and I'm like, oh, what happened? And then I saw the hit, and I'm like, if on site was a visual, that was it right there. Like, that's it right there. And it wasn't even just concussion. It's like, well, what are the injuries? Concussion protocol, broken back, his shoulder. I'm just like, if on site was for real, like Bruce Irvin had, listen, and I love how Mike Florio tried to play this off. It's like, listen, Bruce Irvin has only put on the pad 3 times since January, but he was teammates with Derek Carr. Yes, I know this. And, he said what he said, and I'm just like, yeah, he's been waiting for that for about 5 years. 5 years.
He's like, red jersey, my ass.
Jersey, fuck you. Yeah, that's the true definition of on site. But the Lions are going to take on the Bears. Brandon, who do you got? You got the Lions or the Bears?
This will not happen again when the Bears really just outran the fucking Lions. Like Justin Fields made Lions defense look so goddamn slow. Like it's just so slow. I got Detroit. I think Detroit will eventually wake up at some point. You're right. First quarter, Detroit looked like Detroit. You're like, oh shit, there it is. And then the rest of the game happened. You're like, this shit should not be this close. Why is it this damn close? Like, why is it even this close?
And the fucked up part about it, it's like, they were doing good, and then Derek Carr hit like 15 straight completions, and then Bruce Irvin said, all right, enough of this bullshit. Yeah. Bruce, no.
Detroit finally has a pass rush that people might not want to understand, but Detroit kind of have a pass rush, which everybody's been bitching more than complaining that they need it, but they got it now. So I got Detroit. I think they know they have to win this game because they're falling.
And it's not like the NFC. It's like nobody in the NFC South or NFC North can catch up. We're just saying they need to keep winning in order to keep their chances alive of getting a good seed. Because look, we'll talk about them later. We'll talk about the Vikings and we'll talk about the Packers soon. But they need this win, and that's why I got the Lions too. I don't think we're going to see a repeat of what we saw earlier. Where now the Bears should have won the first time around. Like let people forget. The Bears should have won the first time around. However, that happened. Aiden Hutchinson happened. That's what happened. I'm going to go Lions too because I think the one thing that's been missing, and I think he's finally catching on, I think Jameson Williams is finally catching on with this offense. If you've been seeing in the last couple of weeks, he's been catching on. They're trusting him a little bit more. And I think he's probably going to – he probably could be the missing piece to this offense to put it all together. Sam Laporta, I don't have to tell you how good Sam Laporta is because you saw it. We've all seen it. I don't have to tell you how good Amon-Ra St. Brown is. I don't have to tell you how good David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs are good. I don't have to tell you how and Deion Branch is looking. I don't have to tell you how good this defense can be, but I think the one thing that people are missing is I think Jameson Williams is pretty much going to be that missing link to that offense. And if he catches on, then yeah, Detroit's back on track again. But give me Detroit on this one. Whew. Next up, man, I don't really know how I feel about this one. The Colts and the Bengals. The Colts, what you going to do when Mitchell Mania runs all over you, brother? A winner again against the Tennessee Titans. And the Bengals beating the Jaguars in overtime on Monday Night Football. It's just crazy to me. It's crazy to me. I really don't know what to say. But Brandon, I'm going to ask you the question. You got the Colts or you got the Bengals, my man?
This seems like such a weird game to X.
And mind you, both teams have playoff implications in this game. So, hey, just throwing it out there.
Yeah. I got the quarterback down. Actually, they can keep it rolling. I got Jake Browning and the Cincinnati Bengals.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah. Not having Jonathan Taylor at some point is going to hurt the Colts. I don't know when, but it's going to hurt the Colts. Maybe it's this week. Maybe it's a couple weeks from now. But not having Jonathan Taylor is that's a significant loss. I know they didn't have him for the beginning of the year, but this is a little different. And something that Cincinnati did a lot last game, Joe Mixon is starting to kind of get himself going.
Yeah.
And now you're getting T. Higgins back as well. This is a little bit like, Cincinnati can catch fire. I mean, listen, the AFC is literally the abandoned quarterback conference. Like, this is just a terrible quarterback conference right now. They went from having nothing but number ones, top tier candidates, probably MVPs, and they immediately went to, I think he can get us in the playoffs. I don't know. I hope he can. I wish.
How do we feel about it? Anthony Richardson! Yep, that's our guy. Oh!
It went from having the top quarterbacks to now being like, shit, this playoffs can either be really good or really fucking bad. It just depends.
You know who's loving this? Chiefs fans. They're loving this. Because they know if they could just get through Baltimore, they're back in the Super Bowl. They know this. And that's what it is. That's really what it's going to come down to. I'm going to go with the Colts on this one. I'm actually liking the way, as weird as it sounds, the Colts defense is actually playing lately. They're not spectacular, but they're balanced enough to keep teams out of the end zone. Enough. Listen, you're going to let Derrick Henry score a touchdown because he's Derrick fucking Henry. Let's get this out the way. Let's just get this out the way. Yeah, I understand that. But that's just Derrick fucking Henry. You got to understand this. But honestly, I think the Colts are playing great balanced football right now. They're meshing together. They're playing off each other. They're not the most elite team, but they're better off than some teams. Buffalo, anyway, they're playing better off than some teams, and they don't even have the talent to think. If you would have told me at the beginning of the year, like, hey man, by the way, the Colts are going to be in playoff implications by week 14, I would have been like, you're out of your fucking mind. Yeah, I know. I told you, you're out of your fucking mind, bro. But here we are. The AFC South. Man, that was such a terrible injury for Jacksonville. That was it. Oh, man. Give me the Colts. On this one. I think it's going to be a good game. Because, the only reason I'm going the Colts, it's listen, I get it. The quarterback for Cincinnati, Jake Browning, great story, great game. There's a reason he's been through 23 transactions in the NFL. I highly doubt he could do that again. Give me the Colts in this one. Remember when, I mean, we try to tell Jag fans, like, listen, man, if your defense is really not that good like you think it is, and, you know, I was like, wow, I haven't seen this Jake Browning in a long time. Ah, good times. Good times. I'm like, wow, this is really sad for Jacksonville. Wow, this is terrible. Okay, but yeah, give me the Colts on this one. Give me the Colts. Speaking of the Jaguars, here we go again. It is the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Cleveland Browns. As we all know, the Jacksonville Jaguars have lost their number one quarterback in Trevor Lawrence and their number one wide receiver in Christian Kirk. God, it's so terrible. That's so terrible to say. Yep, they lost them both, and then they lost the Monday Nighter on a very terrible way to lose. You know, I mean, it's just what it is. And now they're going to take on a Browns team who, by the way, these Browns are tough, man. They are competitive. They have a squad. They just need the right guy. I'm sorry. And listen, I get it. Joe Flacco, great, man. I cannot believe I saw Joe Flacco play football in 2023. I did not have that in my bingo card at all. That is fucking insane.
Let's be real. Who the fuck don't we ever see Jake Browning, CJ Beathard?
You want to know how I know CJ Beathard should retire? Because he hurt his hand in the first drive. I'm like, yo, CJ, listen, man. I'm like, yo, CJ, listen, man. I felt like, you remember the movie Moneyball? Remember when Billy has to cut the catcher? I felt like that. Like, I wanted to sit down, and he goes, listen, man, I know Trevor's down, but I'm thinking about making some nice plays with the, I need you to stop getting dressed, CJ. Traded? Sent down? I can't have 53 guys in the locker room, CJ. I know, man. I know. I'm sorry for the crap news. That's what I felt like telling him. Like, I can't have 53 guys I can't have more than 53 guys in my locker room, man. I'm sorry. Like Big Daddy, when the little kid, like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry. Like, it's just, dude, you hurt your hand. You expect me to believe you're gonna lead a team to fucking on your first drive? You expect me to? And here's the thing: the Jaguars we felt like this whole time we're like, damn, I don't even know if they're like a sure thing to win the AFC South. Now the Colts and Texans are probably looking at it like, yeah.
Can we explain to people that we've been saying this shit for a minute? Trevor Lawrence got outplayed by Jake Browning. Let that seep in for a second. Let that actually, hit people for a second.
It's not CJ. It's not that he got outplayed by CJ Stroud or anybody like that. It's Jake Browning. The man has more transitions in his NFL career than I do in fucking debit card transitions. Okay, like the man suffering.
Trevor Lawrence on Monday Night Football was probably going to lose regardless to Jake Browning. That is the most, what the fuck? like, yeah, he's such a franchise guy, man. I don't know what people, we must not be saying this, why? I mean, because we don't watch football, we just look at the names, because clearly Trevor Lawrence is that guy, that guy, even though he almost threw a fucking pick and the rookie receiver had to literally grab the fucking ball from the cornerback. Like, he literally had to grab it away from him because it was a pick. The goddamn interception. But everybody said that, like, that was a great throw by Trevor Lawrence. No, fuck it wasn't. What were you watching? Like, it's a terrible fucking throw. What are you watching? But we don't know football. We don't know football. Just look at the names on the jersey.
I'm going to go with the Browns on this one. I think the Browns smell blood in the water. Statistically, the Browns still have the best defense in the NFL. And if last Sunday was any indication,
I feel bad for CJ Beathard because if you hurt your hand just by throwing the football, kind of just throwing it just a little bit, you're going to really be in pain this Sunday because Myles Garrett.
And that whole front seven is just ready to attack. So,
yeah.
Yep.
It's in Cleveland. I can easily see this being like the Cleveland Browns versus the Arizona Cardinals. But it was just like, why do we even on the field now? Like, just get the ball back.
Remember when Baltimore played Arizona? And it's like,
It's gonna be bad.
oh, it's going to be rough. It's going to be rough. Here we go. We got the Panthers taking on the Saints. The Panthers are now mathematically eliminated. And, they can't even get ready. They can get ready for the draft, but not until the second round, because they gave their first rounder to the Bears. And right now, if everything stands where it stands, Chicago will be picking Carolina. And they fired their head coach, by the way. So the Saints, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I mean, I don't know who's going to be quarterback this week because of the whole Derek Carr situation. But I think I can feel the vibe of Michael Thomas. I don't think he likes him like that. But we both have the Saints, right? Like, no way you lose to these guys, right?
I would never say never. It's the fucking Saints. I do not know. They might lose. Jameis Winston damn straight to answer. And he might throw 3 picks.
Or he could throw 3 touchdowns. He's done it before. I have never seen a guy be so perfect at 1-to-1 touchdown and interception ratio. Jameis Winston is like he is like Thanos, perfectly balanced in all places. I'm like, that's I'm impressed. I'm genuinely impressed.
I go he did throw literally 3 touchdown passes and literally throw the same 3 balls. They got touchdown passes and they all interceptions. It's literally the same damn thing. You be like, what is this? What is this? Yeah.
Jameis, we love you, baby. We love you, man.
I got the Saints, but I am truly not happy about it.
Do not lose to the Panthers. Do not lose to the Panthers. Do you understand? And it's like I wrote in my article. If the Saints should lose, pack it up. Go home. Think about what you've done. And I'll see some of y'all motherfuckers back next year. Some of y'all. Not all of you, but some of y'all. I'll see you back next year.
Like Alvin Kamara said, we ain't playing for the players. Fuck the coaches. That is
Yo, Alvin Kamara is just a straight shot. Ever since he got like that, the whole thing in Vegas, he's like, man, fuck y'all. I am playing. We're playing for the players, man.
We ain't giving up. The players ain't giving up. I don't know what the fucking coaches do. We are not giving up.
Yo, there's some. I'm not even going to go there because, like I said, dude, I've dealt with it for 9 years. You guys are seeing it firsthand now, what I've been trying to tell you guys for like 9 years. And there was the delusionality is for real because there is a fan out there today that said, now that the Raiders have a good defense, they should bring back Derek Carr. You know what? I wouldn't mind Derek Carr.
Derek Carr right the fuck now. What do you want for him? Because I will give you Derek Carr. And to sweeten up the deal, I give you Jameis Winston too. I will give you 2 for 1.
I'll give you the last pick of the draft. Sold, nigga. Sold, nigga. Sold. And somebody said that they should bring back Derek Carr, and I'm like, I wouldn't mind Derek Carr back, but not for $70 million, not for 90, not for 35. I'm talking whatever the vet minimum is, which is like $1 million, I think.
Derek Carr right now to me is worth
The 3-piece. No. Not the spicy. Not the spicy. That shit's too expensive. There we go. There we go.
3-piece is a little bit too damn much. I'm talking about like the specials on Tuesdays. Like,
Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. I know those specials. I love those specials. When I don't feel like cooking, I love those specials, man.
the specials on Tuesday at Popeyes.
The chicken that didn't get sold over the weekend and on Monday was a throwaway. They're like, no. The batch ain't coming until Wednesday. The batch ain't coming until Wednesday. Let's just get these pieces away for special Tuesdays. I get it. I love those specials. I love them.
He's worth that.
He's worth that. Saints. Come on. Just get it done. Just get it done. Next up, we have the Texans taking on the Jets. CJ Stroud is the fucking man. I don't want to hear it anymore. It's fucking done. I don't know if you saw the game against Denver. I was completely wrong. It doesn't matter what defense is out there. He is the fucking man, apparently. I don't know what else to say anymore. I really don't know what else. I mean, I don't know how else to convince people other than I told you so. There's a reason he was my number one quarterback. There's a reason I thought he should have been taken before any other quarterback in this draft. And the Texans got fucking lucky. Kudos to them. The Jets are going back to Zach Wilson, whether he likes it or not. Like, the Jets are going back to Zach Wilson. Fuck. And here's the thing too. Here's the crazy thing about it too. I had Zach Wilson as my quarterback one when he was coming out of college. So you see, you got to take the lows and you got to take the highs. It happens. It happens. You know, you can't just be afraid of your mistakes. It happens. It happens. I will say this though: Zach Wilson needs to leave the fucking Jets. Like, he's got to leave the Jets, bro. He has to leave the Jets. Listen, I'll put it to you like this as well. The Texans are fighting for a playoff spot, and CJ Stroud's trying to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. The Jets are fighting for a high draft pick. We both have the Texans, right? Now, this defense for the Jets is amazing. That's about all I can say. That's about all I can say.
I really hope that the Jets fire Rob Saleh. Not because he deserves it, because he don't deserve this shit. He's
No.
done nothing wrong with this team. The team just fucking sucks. It is not his fault. That defense is amazing. It is not his fault that Aaron Rodgers is the most brittle 40-year-old man
4 plays.
playing football I've ever seen in my life.
4 plays.
I personally think Woody Johnson single-handedly destroyed his team. Like I said on my podcast, like I said on Blue Sports, the Jets around this time last year was actually in the playoff race. Think about this shit. With Zach Wilson, they were in the playoff race. And they are 8, 4-9 this year? What changed? Aaron Rodgers. That's what changed. You hired his friends. You brought them in. Alan Lazard is a goddamn healthy scratch every week. Randall Cobb, I don't even know if he's still on the Jets. I have no idea if Randall Cobb is
Him and his beautiful eyes. His beautiful eyes are still in the Jets somewhere. Like, goddamn.
I have no idea if Randall Cobb is even a Jet. I have no idea. I have no clue. Alan Lazard is a healthy scratch every goddamn week. And Aaron Rodgers continuously gets on freaking Pat McAfee show and talk about, I'm coming back. I'm coming back. For what reason? Why? So you get broken in half again? Like, what are you doing? Robert Saleh needs to get fired, and I hope he does, because this shit is unreal. It's the same way I feel about Mike Vrabel. It is not their goddamn fault. Their owners are absolutely stupid. Their owners are absolutely just stupid. I have no idea. That is not their Of course I got Houston. I think it's going to be harder for CJ Stroud because, like you said, the Jets defense isn't real. This might be his first real test of a defense in the NFL.
And if he gets through this, then at this point, it's like, man.
He got Cleveland, which is another defense that is just goddamn.
I don't want to say I told you so, but man, now that that report came out that we were this close to trading from 7-2 to get CJ Stroud, man, I'm thinking about all the games we lost so close to, and if we just had CJ Stroud, maybe. And I had to live with that shit for the rest of my life. It hurts. I'm not going to lie to you. Only because Josh McDaniels said, I prefer Bryce Young over CJ Stroud. Motherfucker. Terrible. I got the Texans too. And it's not going to be easy for Houston this game. It's really not. That defense will make it. The thing is, it's just, if you can't score in Atlanta, you're pretty limited on offense. You know what I mean? Like, your limitations on offense are pretty real, bro.
I mean, the Saints didn't even score on Atlanta. So Atlanta's defense is actually a real thing. It's just the offense sucks. That's it. Atlanta's defense is not the problem.
I wouldn't say all that, but whatever. I mean, it's you have to. It's a like your offense is pretty limited to keep Vegas to score 4 field goals. You're pretty limited on offense. You're pretty limited. I'm going to go Houston. It's going to be a close one. I think it's going to be a lot closer than what people think. I still got Houston. Next up is the Seahawks versus the 49ers. Look, I'm not going to get into it. We saw this game 2 weeks ago. Unless the Seattle Seahawks got in a time machine and brought a prime offensive line, like the Rams offensive line, and they got like Jerry Rice and Randy Moss and, Walter Payton, like in their prime, like through a time machine in that lineup, nothing's changed. 49ers. Yeah, okay. Why, Brandon? Why do you have Seattle, Brandon? Why?
I got Seattle. Their defense is garbage. Like, good God, their defense is garbage.
Yeah, so unless they went into and they got like the purple eaters of the 60s and 70s of Minnesota, they got the linebacking core of like the Ravens, and then they got the secondary.
The reason why I have Seattle, and this is the reason why I have Seattle. It's not Seattle. It's San Francisco. I think San Francisco coming off of beating the living hell out of Seattle on Thanksgiving and now having pretty much their Super Bowl in Philly.
Oh man, they feel like it too. This was their Super Bowl, man. Deebo Samuel was waiting for this fucking moment.
That was their goddamn Super Bowl. Yeah, eventually they're going to hit the goddamn skits again. I don't believe San Francisco just runs through the entire schedule. That shit is crazy. I think that Seattle can get it. I think that this game catches San Francisco off guard. Seattle needs to win this game. People gotta understand. Seattle can literally fall out the goddamn playoffs.
They could either lose their spot, and I'm going to tell you the teams that they can lose their spot to: Minnesota, Green Bay. Oh,
already in the playoffs. One of them is already in. They can lose that spot to the Rams. Like, they can literally just lose
the Rams. That's right, guys. That's right, guys.
It's
Your San Francisco 49ers are going to take on the Los Angeles Rams in the playoffs.
That sounds so goddamn. That sounds so made up.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, yeah. Yeah. And like I said, Seattle had their moment, dude. They were up 2 games. 2 games. Nah.
Last Thursday was the best Seattle I've seen since like week 2 against Detroit. That's like the best Seattle I've seen like week 2 against Detroit.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm good.
I got Seattle, man. I think San Francisco.
Yes, because the Seattle Seahawks went back in time and brought the 2000 Baltimore Ravens with them in their prime to match up with the 49ers. Yeah, that'll do it. The only way, and here's the thing, I can't even say if the 49ers don't show up. Maybe if the 49ers, all their starters just said, nah, we're tired. We're just going to go back to bed. That's the only way. That's the only way. So they get stuck in traffic. That's the only way I see the Seattle Seahawks winning this game. They get stuck in traffic. Just I saw this game 2 weeks ago. I didn't like it the first time. I doubt I'm gonna like it again. Give me the 49ers. Next up, we got the Vikings taking on the Raiders. The Vikings have come out and said that Josh Dobbs is going to be the starter. I never understood why that was a question to begin with anyway.
That took a long time to figure out.
Hey,
Took him a whole bite.
like, well, if he's not the starter, who is? I want you to look at the backup just in case. They saw one throw in practice and said, "Come on, man, let's get this game plan going." They're gonna, and the good thing is Justin Jefferson is coming back, huh? Yeah. Like, yeah, man, he's fucking killing us, but man, he looks good doing it. I mean, boo, boo, boo. How's my fantasy team? Yes, yes. So Justin Jefferson's coming back. Josh Dobbs is going to be the starter, and the Raiders are coming off a bye week as well. They're coming back. Aiden O'Connell has been named the starter. Antonio Pierce is not. This is what I want Raider fans to understand. Antonio Pierce is not going back to Jimmy Garoppolo. Barring fucking death to Aiden O'Connell. Barring death, he is not going back to Aiden O'Connell. Or he's not going back to Jimmy Garoppolo. I'm sorry. There are some fans out there that believe because of the new spark, Jimmy Garoppolo can find a new. Nope. Barring death, and not within his family, like him, if God forbid Aiden O'Connell dies, Jimmy Garoppolo is not going to see the field again this year. So, Brandon, who do you got, man? You got the Vikings or you got the Raiders?
This is hard, to be honest. I got the Raiders.
Oh, wow.
I got the Raiders. I think we've seen all that we've seen from Josh Dobbs. I know Justin Jefferson is back, and I know it's a reason why Josh Dobbs has been a fucking backup his whole career. Like, it's a reason for that.
But at least we can say this. At least we know now Josh Dobbs deserves to play in the NFL. At least you can look at it like there's a reason he has a roster spot. Okay? Now, why the fuck Mason? I saw Mason Rudolph on the bench, and I'm like, how? 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 How?
You paid somebody off to lose. Yeah, I think Josh Dobbs, as good as he's been, we forget that he won one game with the Arizona Cardinals. That was against Dallas, which is still the funniest fucking game I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
One of the funniest games I've ever seen in my life. But he beat the Dallas Cowboys. The latter game, a backup. Of course, he can come in and just do that shit. The Saints game, you forget the second half. He did absolutely nothing in the second half.
None.
He didn't do shit in the second half. And then he played the Bears, and he looked like Josh Dobbs, the backup. Like, he looked like what he is. Now he's coming off of a bye. I don't trust the Vikings against the Raiders. I'm sorry, I just don't trust. I know the Raiders are going through their own shit.
Oh, we're going through it all right. Oh, we're going through it, bro.
I feel like that offensive line of the Vikings is going to have a power with Max Crosby. Like everybody does.
Like everybody else in this fucking league. I think here's the thing, though. I'm actually going to go Minnesota on this one because I think what's really going to come down to it's the defense. And right now, the Vikings defense. People want to forget the Vikings defense has been giving everybody fits. Like every time they're out there, every offense has been given some sort of fits. Our offense is not capable of playing 4 full quarters. This Vikings defense is just a top notch above the Raiders. And that's why I'm going to go with Minnesota in this game.
Brian Flores. I think we need to give Brian Flores.
Yes. Brian Flores deserves all the fucking credit in the world. Now, I don't know what happened on Monday night against the Bears.
That was not his fault.
Like, I don't know what the fuck happened. It's not easy when your offense keeps turning the fucking ball over. So, it's not easy. But I condemn him for turning this defense around. And yes, is there rumors of him getting another head coaching job? Yeah. Have you seen what he did with the Steelers defense last year? Did you see what he did with this defense this year? Yeah. It's not his fault that he runs into teams with troubled offenses. He's a really good defensive coordinator.
Let's be 100% honest here. He made the Vikings defense. The Vikings defense, who played last year, got to the playoffs, and we all said Daniel Jones was going to beat them. Like, he made that defense actually look like an actual NFL defense again. Yeah. The man and coach, ladies and gentlemen, did you not notice that?
Yeah, and that's why I'm going to go with the Vikings. I think their defense is just a top notch above the Raiders. Now, this is one of those games like it's going to be a toss up between anybody, and I think there's a lot of implications in this game because the Vikings want to keep their playoff hopes alive, and the Raiders they want to show that they can actually win. So, I think it's going to be a good game. I just think the Vikings are just the top notch above the Raiders defensively at least. Next game. The Buffalo Bills are going to be taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. The Bills coming off a bye week, trying to ride the ship and turn it around these last weeks. The Chiefs losing a heartbreaker in Green Bay on Sunday Night Football. Brandon, please tell me you got the Chiefs on this one.
Of course I got the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I don't trust the Bills for shit. I don't trust the Bills for shit. Oh,
Like, I love how everybody's like, this bye week is going to do wonders for Buffalo. They're going to find their center. They're going to freaking turn it around. They're going to, starting with Kansas City, they're going to turn it around. And it's like, yeah.
I'm so happy for everybody. Yeah, the Kansas City Chiefs are going to. And I don't think Kansas City absolutely beats Buffalo. Like, I don't think they just dominate them. I think it's going to be a close game. But, yeah, Kansas City's going to probably win this. I don't think Buffalo is great. People need to stop doing this to themselves. Josh Allen is probably going to have 350 yards passing. And lose by a field goal. and lose by a field goal. Like, physically lose by a field goal. Like, that is what he does. That is not, it is what it is. I don't think Kansas City is great either. I think Kansas City is absolutely shredded on offense. They cannot figure out how to make a receiver actually look like a receiver.
I love how everybody was just like, well, we'll just draft the fastest receivers in the draft and we'll let them take over the Tyreek Hill spot. I think there's a little bit more to it than that.
I've been hearing the rookie Rice like the last couple of weeks, and then he played against Green Bay and did absolutely fucking nothing. maybe it's not just speed. Maybe you actually might need, I don't know, actual catching the ball skills. Like, you might actually need to be an actual fucking receiver.
Do you understand like how bad it's got to like how bad Andy Reid has to feel when the corner from Green Bay after the game said, "Yeah, I saw the sign he did. I played against him before. I knew what he was going to run, and I'm thinking, no way after all these years they're still running the same play and he thinks this receiver can get over me like that?" That should tell you everything you need to know about these receivers, guys. Everything you need to know. But still, give me the Chiefs on this one, only because of the fact that, listen, you guys, Buffalo, you had a bye week. You had 1 week to have your little kumbaya. Let's all come together as a team moment. Here's the situation. You get not only do you have to possibly win every game, you're also going to need some help along the way. And the help you're going to need are teams that are not going to jeopardize getting a top pick. Sorry, Buffalo. Right here. Right here. We'll watch the playoffs together in my couch. Right here. Give me the Chiefs on this one. Next up, we got the Broncos taking on the Chargers. The Broncos finally crashing back down to earth after that win streak and looked like the Denver Broncos that we all knew, losing to Houston. The Chargers beating the Patriots and ending the 3-game losing streak. My God. So it's probably going to be almost as bad as the Thursday Night Football matchup. We got the Broncos taking on the Chargers. Brandon, who do you got and explain why?
I'm ready to explain why. Okay, Broncos. And the Broncos. I never thought in a million years Justin Herbert would look absolutely trash. It's just like, maybe it was Kevin Moore holding back Dak Prescott. maybe we were a little bit delusional about that. Maybe we're like, nah, man, it's like, maybe it was Kevin Moore. Maybe it fucking was. There's no way in hell you should have scored 6 fucking points. That's not even possible for Justin Herbert. What the fuck was that? What was that?
Justin Herbert has to be. You remember a few years back when Justin Herbert came to Vegas and he said, "Man, I never wanted a tie so much in my fucking life." I'm sure there's days he wakes up and he goes, "I never wanted an offensive coordinator as my head coach so much in my fucking life. Harbaugh, help me."
Kellen Moore, good God almighty. Kellen Moore has this man looking like complete utter garbage. I have no idea how to fucking talk. You made it happen. I have one of the best arm talents in years. He looked like a complete another zombie out there. He looked like he didn't know what the fuck was going on. That is how is that possible? Like, for Denver, you just lost the last second play. It wasn't, you try to force Russell Wilson to throw the ball up top, which was so stupid. But yeah, I don't think Denver is crashed back down to earth. I think they just played a better team than they are. They finally played a better team
Than what people like to admit. Yeah.
They what they are. I think they finally met a team that's kind of like, no, we're not going to let you just do what you like to do defensively. CJ Stroud can actually go down the field. They can actually make long drives happen. And once Denver kind of realized that they couldn't stop Houston offensively, they were like, oh shit, well, now the offense of Denver actually has to make plays, and they can't do that. They've never been able to do that. This whole season, they've just been able to play teams that can never really catch a rhythm offensively. That's it. So if they played one, they lost. It is what it is. I think with the Chargers and the Broncos, the Chargers are still in a goddamn chance to get in the playoffs, but still it feels like it doesn't fucking matter. Like the Chargers are so like if they lose this game, fire Brandon Staley. after the game. It's time. It's time to look bad days.
It's like Rafiki. It's like Rafiki said to Simba when he came back. It is time. It is time. It is time.
To rip the band-aid off because there's no way in hell you won 6-0 and we all think that was a good ass decision. Like that was a bad win, bro. Like that was a bad win. You know how people say if you win a bad game and still won? No, that was just a terrible ass win. That was like your team was.
And here's the thing: like, it's not like New England is getting blown out these last games. They're not. Their offense just god awful. It is god awful. It's awful. Like we talked about this last week. It's either we're going to see a terrible offense or we're going to see a defense that can't play defense. And sure enough, it was New England's offense that didn't want to show up again. So here's the crazy thing. I'm actually going to go with the Chargers this week. Yes. The reason being, lately I've been seeing that the Chargers defense has taken a little bit of a, ever since the whole, I'm still going to call plays. So quit asking rant that Brandon Staley had. The defense has stepped up. Khalil Mack is leading the league in sacks. The defense is turning the ball over. They're stepping up. I think this is the week where I think the Chargers actually look like a formidable offensive team. They're at home. It's not like they're out of the playoff picture, but they need to win this one to stay in it. And they're going to be more hungry. And the Broncos are probably thinking, we know we were probably the better team than the Texans, and we let it get away. How confident can we get back into this to beat the Chargers? And I think that's what it's going to come down to. I think the Broncos are just going to overthink themselves again. I'm going to go with the Chargers on this one. I really am going to go with the Chargers here. So it should be for an interesting game. Now that makes us reach to our Sunday Night Football matchup. The Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Dallas Cowboys. The Eagles lost a heartbreaker, enduring their second loss of the season to the San Francisco 49ers, who the San Francisco 49ers have been waiting literally since January. They have been literally almost waiting almost a full calendar year to get this game. And they went in there and they did what they had to do against Philadelphia. 2 days later, the Philadelphia Eagles signed Shaquille Leonard to be their new middle linebacker. Great. Fucking great. Of course he would. Why wouldn't he, right? The Dallas Cowboys beat the Seattle Seahawks and now are just one game away from tying it up with the Eagles to lead the division. So, Brandon, I ask you, do you have the Eagles or you got the Cowboys on this one? Okay.
I'm so happy for Dak Prescott. He beat Seattle last week. I mean, really, what the fuck is that really mean? And that's like beating the fucking Broncos right now. Like, yeah, we beat a team that was kind of good. Like, we beat a team that was.
Yay!
Like, if the playoffs was to happen, they're about to be in it.
Yay!
You fucking struggled. Like, you struggled so much. Yo, it's bad when you put out the stat of your quarterback, and it's the yards he gave up in the fucking game. And then to switch his ass off. To switch him off, and he came back down. So goddamn bad. It's like, yeah, dump this shit. He was Trayvon Diggs 2.0. Like, he was just like, what the fuck happened? It was bad. Listen, I got the Eagles, man. I think losing to the 49ers, the way they lost to the 49ers, I think that shit is something that they needed. They needed it. Also, the way they've been running the last couple of weeks going into that game, like, yeah, it was kind of like, yeah, they were either going to lose to the 49ers or they were going to lose to the Cowboys. They were not going to win both, and they're not going to lose both. I think that they just, I don't think they're going to lose to the Cowboys. And I actually think with a Shaquille Leonard, I don't know how fast they're going to get him up to date.
He's playing Sunday. He's playing Sunday.
Yeah, I don't know how much he's going to be used.
99%.
Yeah, if he is Shaquille Leonard of the last couple of years, sideline to sideline, one of the best linebackers in the league. Fuck, the Eagles probably got better. Like that was a okay, San Fran, you got this one. We're gonna catch you in the playoffs. We're gonna fuck you up. Like that was kind of what that was. I just feel like Dallas right now. I'm happy for Dallas. Dak Prescott is in MVP conversations, and Dallas looks like they're ready to rock and roll. Now they're about to play an actual team. They're not playing Seattle. They're not playing the Rams. They're not playing the Chargers. They're actually about to play a team that's coming off of a loss and probably pissed off about it. That's not good. Like that's really not that good. I expect Dak Prescott to do what Dak Prescott does, but Dallas has no running game. They have no offensive line. Like, God damn. It is literally Dak Prescott or nothing. And I don't think everybody understands. That's not a good fucking way of winning games. Like, you don't want your quarterback to have to be the only offense you have.
Now, here's a crazy thing about it. I think we can all admit this. The Eagles' defense is not as good as it was last year. The talent is, the heart is there, but the numbers aren't showing it. And that's okay. It happens. It happens, right?
They need to get a cornerback. They need a slot corner.
And here's the crazy thing. Like, everybody's talking about the Eagles' loss. There was a guy who said that, there's a guy on the NFL Network that said that they should start Marcus Mariota only because of the fact, here's the thing. I get it.
Don't wait a minute. Don't sugarcoat it. Don't you sugarcoat it. The guy's name is David Carr. Yeah, Derek Carr's brother thinks that Marcus Mariota should be the starting quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles right now. Jalen Hurts can't read coverages. Are you fucking stupid? Like, that is the dumbest shit I've heard. Like, that is...
So there's that. But here's the thing. People want to act like the Philadelphia loss was like the end of the world. Brandon, when they walked into that game with San Francisco, what seed were they in? What number of seed were they in? After this loss, where are they at?
Number 1.
Okay. Can we admit that they have given up yards? Sure. But can we also admit that they've actually won games when it mattered the most? There's a reason why they're the NFC defending champs. There's a reason why they have talent everywhere. And we talked about it. They're going to hit a gear eventually. And it's probably a good thing that they haven't hit the gear because they'd probably be 17-0. Let's be real about this. So nothing changes. Nothing changes. Sing it with me, man. Fly, Eagles, fly on the road to victory. Fly, Eagles, fly. I don't know the rest of the song, but you get the idea. However, there's always a however with me. Brandon, what did I say during our pick'em show? What did I say? Who did I have winning this division?
The Cowboys.
I had the Cowboys winning the division. Now, obviously, a lot has changed since we made our prediction show. Because a lot can change in 24 hours. A lot can change in 3 months. But here we are. And there's just one thing I have to ask you, Brandon. How about them Cowboys now? They are just one game away from catching up on the Eagles. One. My prediction is one game away from coming true. One game. So you know who I'm going for this Sunday. How about them Cowboys? That's who I'm going with. I'm going with Dallas.
I got a question. What happens if his game is tight and Dak Prescott got the ball and is trying to drive and Mike McCarthy forgets to call it out? Mike McCarthy will forget to call the timeout. Just be Mike McCarthy.
At that point, my answer? fly, Eagles fly on the road to victory. Fly, Eagles fly.
Listen, I think that is, if you're going to get the Eagles, this is the best goddamn time to get the Eagles. This is it.
Don't let me down. Don't let me down, Dallas. Don't let me down. Don't let me down.
I think you know it, and I think you just don't want to.
I just want to be right. I just want to be right with this Dallas team. Like, I know they can do it. I know they can do it. They got them at home too, which is even worse. Terrible. Terrible. All right. And to close it off, we have a double Monday Night Football header. Titans, Dolphins, Packers, Giants. Let's just get this out the way. First, Titans, Dolphins. Brandon, do you give the Titans any chance to win this game on Monday Night Football?
It's in Miami. They have no defense. No.
Okay. The Packers have to travel to the Giants. They are going to stick with... All right, they're going to stick with him, even though Tyrod Taylor is 100% healthy. And Jordan Love, listen, say what you want. Can he be the next Aaron Rodgers or Brett Favre? Hell, I don't know. It's 1 year. I think we're looking too much into it. Sure, does he have the same numbers or better numbers than Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre through the first year? Sure, why not? But this is his first year. This is what, I'm happy for him. But to say that the Packers might have legitimately found another Hall of Fame quarterback when some fans were ready to pack him up after week 5, come on. Like, can we just be happy that the kid is actually now getting a chance to play, which is something that me and you have been begging for now for at least 2 to 3 seasons. And now that he's gotten a chance to play, we're very happy that he actually looks damn well decent enough where we can look at the Packers and be like, well, the Packers have problems, but I can tell you what, Jordan Love ain't one of them. I can tell you that. So I'm happy for the kid. But to say that he is a Hall of Fame quarterback already, I just pump the brakes a little bit. Like, he's already better than Packer. Here's the thing about Packer fans. When they divorce their previous quarterback, it's always a messy divorce, and they just want to show off the new wife that they got. And right now, Jordan Love is the prettiest wife in the fucking world. Until 15, 20 years from now, they're going to draft another quarterback, and they're going to do the same. It's always messy. It's always messy. But, Brandon, you got the Packers too, right?
Of course. Yeah, I totally agree with that. You just said. I feel like this. If you didn't watch that Sunday night game, you didn't really see Jordan Love outplay Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, that shit actually happened.
Here's the thing. Jordan Love is not a bad quarterback.
He's not fucking that. Like, people can get mad or whatever the case may be. Jordan Love is actually, I've seen better results with Jordan Love in the last couple of weeks than I've seen with Trevor Lawrence in 3 years.
Do you understand how hard it is to place the ball in the receiver's basket like that week in, week out, week in, week out, week in? Like, he is placing it so damn well, and I'm just like, wow, good for him.
And he made to Romeo Dobbs between, like, the fucking corner safety line back. Like, I'm like, he put it right in his hand. I'm like, wow. That don't happen. The Christian Watkins touchdown throw, like, literally in his hands. Like, what the? Like, yeah.
Like, we're happy for the kid. But can we, like, not fast forward him? Like, can we just enjoy? Like, it's the same thing when Jalen Hurts took over for Carson Wentz. And me and you talked about it, and we said, listen, we think Jalen Hurts can be somebody, but can we just enjoy what he's doing right now and enjoy the excitement that he's bringing to the Eagles? Can we just enjoy what Jordan Love is doing and the excitement that he's brought into the Packers? Like, and I'm like, good for him.
Ready to just crown him because you had 2 great quarterbacks. And it's just like, give the kid, like you said, a couple weeks ago, you were ready to get rid of the goddamn kid. You were like, why the fuck would they ever sign him to the extension? Now it's like, you can actually make the playoffs with him.
Like 4 weeks ago, Packer fans at work, at my job, were ready to be like, nah, fuck this kid, ship him out, I don't give a fuck if we get a Marlboro's packet for him. Get him the fuck out of town. And now people are begging for Jordan Love. And I'm just like, didn't I say, like, give the kid a chance? Like, see, like, you know, you can't. What you saw in the first 5 weeks compared to 14 weeks, I mean, listen, 14 weeks to 5 weeks is a bigger sample size, and we still even haven't seen the whole Jordan package sample yet.
We haven't even seen his fucking team healthy yet.
So, like, can we just, like, instead of fast forwarding the kid, like, can we just enjoy what he's doing right now and just be like, man, what a great throw. What a great throw. Now, I know he's not a rookie, and it's like, well, he's been in this this is his fourth, fifth year. Like, this is his fourth year. He should be making throws like that already. And I'm like, understand this. Understand this. He was sitting behind Aaron Rodgers. Ain't no way in hell he was going to get enough playing time to learn how to make throws like that. So can we just give the kid props that he actually took the time this past offseason when he knew he was going to be the starter to buckle down and to show Green Bay fans what he's actually made of? Like, I'm happy for him. Like, I'm genuinely happy for him because there was already talks of people going, I don't give a shit if we pick up his option. We should still look for another quarterback. And I'm just like, why? You haven't even seen him play. And there was fans out there going, I don't need to see him play. I've seen enough from him for just a little sample of the game or two that he played. And I'm like, really? Really? That's enough for you to be like, I'm done? But yet, you wanted to give Mitchell Trubisky fucking 7 years. You want to give Derek Carr 10 years. You want to get... Really? Really? Come on. Come on. Like, can we just enjoy the kid for having a somewhat of a really good start to his starting career? Like, can we just enjoy that?
I feel like a lot of people are going to be.
Because who's to say in a year from now we're talking about it? It's like, yeah, maybe Jordan Love wasn't it. But can we just do that?
Is he not better than the options that you probably were going to have at some point?
Because at one point you were thinking, well, Aaron Rodgers is out. What about Jimmy G? What about Baker Mayfield? What about the? He's your best option, folks.
Anybody said Baker Mayfield.
That's a lie. That's a goddamn lie. That's a goddamn lie. That is a goddamn lie. It's just, to me, I'm happy for the kid, and I hope he continues to have success. Now, does he sneak in the playoffs? Maybe. I'm not. Now, here's the thing. Should the Packers sneak into the playoffs, they are either going to face the San Francisco 49ers or the Detroit Lions. You had a good run, man. Yeah, they're like, oh, God. Like, we've done it before, guys. Yeah. But, shit. So, I don't know. But that's all I'm saying. Can we just enjoy Jordan Love for what he's doing this season? I get it. Has there been games where, I mean, I was there at one of them live, that Monday Night Football game against the Raiders, where he threw 3 interceptions directly to our defensive players. But you got to understand, his offensive line was unhealthy. He was getting pressured all damn game. Of course he's going to throw straight to the defenders. He doesn't have the time to throw. So, again, I'm just happy that the kid is just showing what he can do. So, that's just me. So, we'll see. But all right, my man, that is all the games. That is everything. Brandon, as always, thank you for joining. Always, my man. I shall talk to you later. We'll recap everything. We got to get ready because bowl season is upon us. All the games have been announced. It is awesome. I don't know how I feel about a governor telling FSU to sue the committee. I don't know how I feel about that. It's a little extreme to me. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm just saying, like, that was a little too extreme for me. I don't know. I never thought it would get to that point. And also, the play-in is happening. We got a championship here in Vegas for the NBA in-season tournament. The 4 teams are finally set, so we will know more on Sunday or on Saturday. I will be at a company Christmas party, however, watching that game on TV instead of enjoying the company at the time. But I will be watching that game on TV, so we shall see how it goes. But until then, Brandon, as always, man, it's always good talking to you. Enjoy your weekend, man. I will see you next week. Everybody else, have a wonderful weekend. Please, 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 please be safe out there. Have a good night, everybody.